How you doing, everybody? Hope everybody's doing great during this time of, uncertainty in our planet. And I want to share today a topic that is actually very exciting. And in the process of preparing this topic, I've been listening to a lot of authors, and one of them is an Argentinian guy, Jose Luis Paris, who is a very interesting psychologist. And this guy pretty much studied the life of Jesus. Now, we're talking about Jesus as a human being, not as the mythical or the religious person, but how the man became the Christ. And during this process, he talks about different related subtopics that help him to become the person that he became. Um, the topic for today is chaos, and in relationship to chaos is funny because I'm going to talk about chaos, and I have a few things, you know. So this is like the third or fourth time that I'm trying to prepare this video, and something from fall from my desk, or somebody calls, or somebody texts, or anything. So it's so interesting. I'm trying to talk about what is chaos, and this is actually chaos when nothing seems to be working. So, but today, the topic that I prepare is about cows, and basically is a response to this kind of work that people like Paris are doing right now. So, there is a need to have an order in cows. And by the way, nobody runs away, nobody escapes from cows. We are all exposed to cows one way or another. And if we take that as our parameter, we have to understand that cows become a great master in our lives. So it depends how we manage cows. Something that we're exposed to is how we understand that life is all about living in cows and getting away from cows. So cows should be a great solution to our life. When we talk about the Bible or the newspaper or any other topic, most of the time we're reading about cows, cows, cows. And so basically, our mission in life is to learn about cows and how to deal with cows. But what is this? What do we have to really learn from cows? That is the main question. And the answer to that is the chaos could become something really tragic, or we can see it from another perspective. And that perspective is chaos is the absence of creativity. So we tend to fall into chaos when we're not being creative about solving a problem. So it becomes, something as a chaos. So many times we try to avoid chaos, um, or we try to run away from chaos. But maybe sometimes this is the best time to be exposed to something that we really need to learn from, and do we need to be created, of, because once we enter into that zone of chaos that we are going to enter so many times in our lifetime, we tend to run away, or we want to run away. But the best findings, they've been through a period of chaos when nothing seems to be working. Suddenly something start making change. Getting, a discovery. If you go back all the way to, the first human beings and the first species on this earth, this is about chaos and what is actually the Big Bang, a big chaos, in the planet. We can consider chaos as a previous stage to the creation. So we understand that creation is the solution to chaos. So anytime that we're into a chaotic situation, we have two options: to be frustrated and, succumb to chaos, or to be creative and come up as a victorious human being out of chaos. We always open different options with chaos or universe or whatever you wanna, mention them. But it's always about finding solutions, either a negative solution or a positive solution. If you're being creative, certainly chaos is a great master, because you're taken to a level where you can learn and practice something so transcendental, so fundamental, that is the basic of the new discovery. And that discovery is processed through creation. Um, I would say that chaos, most people hate about talking about chaos, but chaos is just another thing in regular in life. You know, we have to expect chaos in our days. In the fact that we have chaos in front of us at every moment, and the fact that we know that we're going to die at every moment, is actually really good, because now we know that we're going to get it. So learning how to manage a chaotic situation is fundamental for anything. Right now, what is going on in this planet with this pandemic is craziness or madness for many people, and this is a cold chaos. And this is a great time for people to find solutions, to be creative on what to do and how to do it in this lifetime. Um, you know, so many times we talk about the problem, we talk about problems, and we identify with the problems, but we never identify with the solution. And I wanna give you an example. A lot of people say, I want to find a job. And then they go out the next day and they go out and then they look for jobs, or they say, I want to look for a job. So the next day they go out and they look for a job and they come back with no job. Why? Because they succeeded. Yes, they succeeded because they were looking for a job. Same thing. If we are defining the job, we're eliminating the chaos of living without a job, and we are deciding, okay, I'm gonna get this job, I'm gonna obtain these hours, or I'm gonna obtain this job specifically. Then it's way different to say that than to say I'm going to look for a job. No, I'm going to find a job. That's how we have to say. We have to start talking about the word, the meaning of word. And this is another very interesting video that I really wanna talk about the power of words. A lot of people say, I wanna lose weight, but in order to lose weight, you have to find weight. You have to, you have extra weight to lose weight. So it's kind of crazy to our mind to think about, I wanna lose weight, when you are going to have to find way to lose weight, or everything is related to weight, instead of saying, I want my weight to be 120 pounds or 180 pounds, whatever whatever weight that is good for you. And then we focus on a target, on a specific target. um, this we can say that, the basic idea in life is chaos. We live with chaos or without chaos. Chaos in our head. In our head, we believe that our ideas are the basis of our moves. And yes, they are. But remember, how we manage our ideas, how we play with that, terminal internal dialogue that we have, is how we really make a difference in the world. I think it's in the Bible that said you have to bless your enemy. And there is some kind of certainty about that, because if you start, threatening your enemy, you are actually not finding many solutions. I mean, if you really have an enemy, you rather move away from that person. But fighting fire with fire sometimes end up in a big, fire that doesn't help anybody. And that's why chaos is fundamental. So when, even in this situation, when we have a scenario where we have an enemy, in reality, I don't think they're enemies. They're just people who doesn't, match our way of thinking, or they have, some kind of different perspective of the world. than we do, and they want to take it to a violent stage sometimes, or any other stage. But when we talk about chaos, it is fundamental to understand the basic idea. Chaos is the absence of creativity. So if you ever face a situation in which chaos is a present or a common denominator in your life, the first thing that you have to do is to start being creative. Find solutions. I mean, it could be the worst scenario. It could be something about health. It could be something about financial problems. It could be something about anything. And yes, there are going to be those times where chaos is going to be present. It's normal, it's part of life. So, but the difference is how we're going to manage chaos, how we're going to start being creative and eliminate chaos. Right now, the world seems to be upside down. And for many of us, the days are not the same as they used to be. We cannot do anything about that, maybe. But what we can do is, number one, fall into a chaos and make this a worse scenario, or find a solution and be creative and start doing something different. Buddha used to say something like, who moves your tongue when you talk? Something around there. And this is really interesting, because so many times we just talk and talk and talk and we don't say anything, or we just hurt, somebody or something. And sometimes this is, once again, being into chaos, because if we're being creative, we're finding solutions and we're just trying to manifest what we want to manifest in a really good way, as creative as we can be. Humanity doesn't have, like, with problems with design. Think at the end of the day, we have given the right parents and the right family, because we needed those masters so we could learn to become better human beings. So the real question is, how are, that past, those people that sometimes we think that they are part of our chaos, to become part of the solution? And the answer here is dealing with the chaos itself. And chaos itself, once again, is the absence of being creative or creativity. When we think about chaos, we have to think about what we really want to obtain from a different perspective, not just from the ideas from the word. Basically, what we want. What do you really want? So whenever you have to be creative, you have to say it and you have to write it, or you have to, put in your tattoo or whatever you want to do. But you have to be very clear. And that's here where we basically order the emotional world. So, I'm just making this little short, two similar words into one, videos to, to share some of the knowledge that I've been getting. And it's amazing everything that is outside right there right now, when everybody's talking about chaos and the planet falling apart. I mean, there are so many things that we can learn and so many things that we can take advantage of. So I invite you to keep watching videos, to keep improving, and to keep learning about the wonderful planet in which we are living today. Have a great day.